Fallbrook, Utica, WMHY, Richfield Springs, and streaming online at marshallnetwork.org.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. As expected, Hunter Biden has pleaded not guilty in Delaware to 3 federal firearms charges. The charges were filed after a plea deal fell apart when scrutinized by a judge. The plea deal decried by Republicans as a sweetheart deal for their presidential son. The next Republican presidential primary debates, the Trump camp says, forget about it.
Trump campaign senior advisors are calling on Republican Party officials to immediately cancel the upcoming debate in Miami, even though the former president is not planning to participate. The advisors said the GOP should handle future debates so the party can focus on and prevent Democrats' efforts to steal the 2024 election. The statement came on the same day an angry Donald Trump showed up to the start of the New York City trial in his fraud lawsuit. Greg Cluxton, Washington.
Trump has endorsed this morning in New York. Also, in SRN News, Trump and Texas Congressman Margin just wants the U.S. cabinet.
The Texas Democrat Henry Jr. argued his car Monday evening when three citizens approached him in a vehicle. Their chief of staff says the Congressman was not armed and working with local law enforcement. The Washington Post is reporting that the robbery happened in Washington's Navy Yard area, about 1 mile from the U.S. Capitol. Fire's chief of staff says the vehicle has been recovered. Donna Porter, Washington.
It was a bigger print on a ransom note from New York State Police saying led that to the kidnapping of a 9-year-old girl. Rescued, she is now back with her family safe and sound. And there is a 47-year-old suspect under arrest with charges pending in that case. Sell-off underway this morning on Wall Street. Dow is down 322 points. NASDAQ off 188. This is SRN.
Start your day with music, news, encouragement from God's Word, and join us, won't you?
Follow us on social media.
Revive Our Hearts is made possible by support from Carenet of Royal and New Hope Family Services in Cherokee.
For a long time, Carrie Gull tried to earn God's favor by being perfect. It was always important to look like you had it together because I thought that was the goal. I thought that was what was going on, was pulling it together. This is Revive Our Hearts with Nancy DeMosco with Truly Gratitude. For Tuesday, October 3rd, I'm Dana Gresh. Do you ever feel like giving up? we've received the last couple of weeks from Nancy's teaching. She's been in a series called Encouragement to Persevere. We've seen how the hope of resurrection will help you through any trial. Now, an important question that's been raised in this series is this: when exactly will Christ return for his church?
Some who have studied this passage believe that what Jesus is saying is that Christians will be spared from going through the Great Tribulation.
It's a question that has divided scholars for a long time.
There are others who believe that what better fits this context and the whole of the New Testament is not that Jesus is promising to these believers or to us miraculous escape out of the hour of trial, but that instead he is promising his supernatural protection in the midst of the trial.
Last week, Nancy had this to say.
In my opinion, we don't know and can't know for sure. And for sure.
A lot of listeners wrote in appreciating Nancy's approach, and our guest Gary Gall appreciated it as well. I read recently a quote that the study of prophecy is not for the curious, it's for the suffering saints of God to be encouraged. And I thought, what a different spin that puts on the study of prophecy. And if you then look at that bigger picture, it's getting the eternal perspective. It's not about the detail. The details are glorious, what God's given us, but the focus is that we're pressing on towards a goal. There's a reason to endure through that, and the importance of understanding that in the midst of whatever trial, whether it's marriage or the difficulty of toddlers hanging on legs or teenagers that are living in one whatever tribulations and trials we're going through, God's using them in our life to refine us, to lay out eternal rewards for us. He may not deliver us from those trials, and if he doesn't, I heard someone say, if it's not from the trial, it may be by the trial. He delivers us through the trial. In bondage and captivity, and oh my, what a glorious thought that whatever trial we're in the midst of, God's using it to burn off the captivity that we may be held in. I heard a lady just this weekend, Nancy, share where we attend church is in a very economically depressed area because of what's going on right now. And she is retirement age, been looking forward to retiring from being a counselor in an elementary school in that area, and just loves her position, excellent at it, God's got it. And as she was sharing with me the results of how the economy is impacting families and the adult children, you know, girls were sitting in their desks pulling their hair out because of literally because of the stress that's in their family. Families having to move because there's no jobs. And she said, you know what, Carrie, I wouldn't quit and retire this year for anything. This is the mission field God's been preparing for so long, and the door is wide open. And I thought, oh, that we would all see whatever it is that we do, whatever realm we're in, whatever realm we're serving in, as a mission field, we would look at my very differently. Where do you want me to meet needs? Where do you want to speak through me into life?
And sometimes when it seems that the doors are least open, or it seems that the obstacles are the greatest, that really is God's means of been reflecting back over the series, Encouragement to Persevere. It was based on the letter to the Church of Philadelphia in the final book of the Bible. During this series, Carrie gained some fresh perspective on Revelation 3:8. It says, I know your deeds, faithful I have put before you an open door which no one can shut, because you have little power. So oftentimes, and this is the story of my life, I grew up believing, knowing that I had little power. That wasn't a surprise, but believing that you didn't let anybody else know that. And you kept a very hard shell on the outside. It needed to look good. If you were sinking down, you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, even if you were dying on the inside. Nobody else needed to know that. And even as a young Christian, through the majority of my Christian life, it was always important to look like you had it together, because I thought that was the goal. I thought that was what would please God, was pulling it together. And the reality, as God began to open His Word to me and show me, that's not what He glories in. That's not what brings Him praise. It's the humility and understanding that nothing, I have nothing. He knows that. He knows everything. And yet, He is able to bring perhaps the greatest glory to Himself out of those who have little power, because they have no ability on their own to pull it off. And so that was such a paradigm shift in my way of thinking as a Christian woman. And I still battle from time to time the need to feel like pull yourself up by your bootstraps, rather than saying, I can't do this, I never could. And because of that, God, you receive great glory through it, and you be strong where I'm weak. It reminds me of the Apostle Paul saying, 1 Corinthians 2, I was with you in weakness, and in fear, and in much trembling. This is the Apostle Paul. And my speech and my message were not in plausible words of wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of power, so that your faith might not rest on the wisdom of men, but on the power of God. And in the context of the power of God is Christ crucified. Talk about weakness. Talk about the ultimate defeat from a human vantage point. Satan wins, Jesus loses, is what it looks like. And he says, I resolved, I decided to make nothing among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified. And it seemed to be great defeat, great weakness of Christ actually became abuse of great victory. The resurrection power of Christ is also, when I'm going to minister, to serve, I'm not going to go out there and try and blow people away on how impressive I am. He knew he wasn't impressive. He knew where God had found him. He knew how greatly he had sinned and the battles with his own flesh. I know mine. And he said, so if I'm going to glory in anything, it's going to be in Christ. And in Christ crucified, because that's the strength. That's where the strength of God is magnified. And that's when people see that, their faith doesn't rest in our present words or in the great lessons they were able to hear with revive our hearts. And their faith rests not in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. And that's what changes. And I think this passage also points us to what keeps us is the hope of what lies ahead. Back to Revelation chapter 3 here, on the letter to Philadelphia, is there's a future promise. I'm coming soon. I will keep you. I will reward you. I will make you a pillar in the temple of my God. The whole return of Christ. And I think that part of the balancing act and tension that surfaced in this series was, how do you keep your eyes on that future hope? Keep it in mind, long for His return, while still being fruitful and productive and not an escape artist while you're living here in this present world. I have a little friend who has a 4-year-old son, and she's over study standing right now, and so as a result of that, thinking more, which I think is so uncommon for us in this culture, even in the church, to be thinking about Christ's return.
in the course of conversation, cuddled up next to her, kind of looked at her, and all of a sudden ran over to the window and pulled back the blind and said, "Mommy, do you think Jesus is coming today?" And she said, "I just sat there and thought, oh, I hope so. Wouldn't that be neat?" And they just went on to have this conversation, but she said it was such a good reminder that he expected it enough to go look out the window and look up into the sky and say, it might be today. And I saw it in my own life. What a conviction. How many times do I wake up in the morning and really, truly think, I wonder if it might be today? And if it was, how would I live? How would I live differently? I have a sweet friend who gave me a little puzzle that she made and wrote on it, one of those blank white, they put it all together, and she just wrote on it, Jesus is coming. And I have that sitting on my desk so that every morning I look at it and I need that tangible reminder that it's real, that it's not just something I've read about, but that it's imminent, as you said. And what does it do for you? It makes me look at even basic type things, like what are my priorities today? And from an eternal perspective, why am I really serving these people? If it's my husband, if it's my grown children, why am I calling? Bigger perspective, because of eternity.